For those of you that don't know, my name is Jen Marie, and I am a terrible influence. And you don't have to identify as a witch in order to participate in this divination ceremony. The way that I do this is different than what you're accustomed to due to the nature of the work that I do. This live divination ceremony is brought to you by the Unbound Witches of Bright and Dark. Your altar crew today is myself and Ocean and Morgana. And I believe that Ocean has some Voice of God announcements. So they're going to pop in, do some announcements real quick, and then we're going to get started. So take it away, Ocean.
Good morning. This is Ocean as the voice of God. Firstly, a change of scenery. We will be moving fully away from the picture app to the red play button app for our morning lives. You can access the link to this to our YouTube through our app at community.brightanddark.org. This week at the Resource Center, we have Magic Moves on Wednesday morning at 6 a.m. Pacific Time and 9 a.m. Eastern Time, which is a 45-minute movement offering from the Unbound. This class is designed to wake up the body, lift the spirit, and connect us as a community. That's Wednesday at 6 a.m. Pacific Time, 9 a.m. Eastern. On Wednesday afternoon at 1 p.m. Pacific Time, 4 p.m. Eastern, we have the live Grimoire reading with a Q&A session with the Unbound to follow. Jen Marie will read from the Grimoire for about an hour, and then the members of the Unbound Coven will take questions. You'll find the virtual event in our free app at community.brightanddark.org. On Sunday, we have our monthly ritual rave. This is a radically inclusive magical working that uses movement to create and direct energy. No dance experience required to benefit from this free community offering. You can find all of these events and more in our app at community.brightanddark.org. This has been Ocean as the voice of God. Back to you, Jen Marie.
Hi, good morning. We're about to do our divination ceremony, asking the question, where does our attention need to be today in order to bring the most expansion in our relationship with our life and our practice? I am so close to finishing painting the interior of a 4,000 square foot, 200-year-old farmhouse. And it looks so good. It feels so great. And I have been painting since November. And not a week has gone by that I didn't spend at least 2 days, full days, painting. And so I'm starting to really look forward to the end of the painting project for this season, because there's still more rooms to paint. It's a huge house. But that's going to wait until next season, because I need to shift into farm living and not so much decor and vibe. I need to shift into, because it's a homestead. It is an 80-acre homestead, and we're about to go into busy season, which I'm very much looking forward to. And we are continually finding ways to share that experience with you of what we're doing at Weird Brook. And the way that we live here is different. And it's so great that I will never go back to living in a traditional sense, and engaging with life in a traditional sense, if that makes any sense to you. But living with witches is some next level shit. Living in right relationship with a community of witches is some next level shit. Morgana's off stage like nodding. It's so great. I can't believe that I was convinced that the ideal way to live was with like a romantic partner and exclusively with my little family and my little. Oh my God, that's so much work. That's an incredibly isolating. Anyway, I could like rant about that, and I probably will in because we're going to start or try to start because Morgana and I have coffee every morning and we talk about, okay, what are we doing today in the wonderful world that is Weird Brook and both of our professional lives as well. And the conversations that we have are a whole thing. So we're trying to set up a way to include y'all in that experience because it's so great. Include you in it other than coming to Weird Brook and spending a weekend in an immersion with us, which is also very cool. And I can't wait to share that with you. But until then, we are asking, where does our attention need to be today in order to bring the most expansion in our relationship with our life and our practice? I gotta say, it's so cool what's going on in the chats right now. It feels like sitting in a coffee house and all of my friends are showing up and like greeting each other and saying hi. It is the best feeling. So thank you for bringing me there with y'all. It's so great. It was a rough eclipse. I loved seeing that so many witches went into the blanket for it, which is a voice chat in the app space that we have, that we created a few years ago at community.brightanddark.org. You eventually get to the point where you're able to get into this like open voice channel, and they all got together and watched the eclipse. Like there were so many witches that showed up to watch the eclipse together all over the world. So we are so cool. This is a 2-card draw. Card on the top of the deck represents where our attention needs to be. And then the card on the bottom of the deck represents how we're being freaking stubborn about it. What are we pushing into shadow? What are we in resistance to or in denial of that is actually influencing our ability to focus on where our attention like needs to be? Because you already know this shit. You already know this. Whatever we say here, you already know it. All right. The Hanged Man in reverse. You also pulled, oh, no way. So Morgana is literally across the landing from me, and they pulled the same card I did. Did you pull it upright? You pulled it upright and I pulled it reversed. So I think that that's some good information. So 2 witches in the same house just pulled the same card. All right. And with a brand new deck. That's fun. We're going to have a great day, Morgana. Happy Friday. Oh my God. And what a card to pull on a Friday. So have you brewed on that yet? Are you ready for me to influence you? First of all, the thing that I was going to say, but was like, I held back, was that we're finally drawing different cards since January. I swear we've pulled the same like 5 cards over and over and over and over again in different placements. But okay, so feeling into this. So the Hanged Man, the way that this card feels, right? It feels like the kind of activism that nobody else understands, that everyone in your circle is like, why are you doing that? Why are you making this so hard on yourself? That's what it feels like. So doing things like boycotting a very well-known website to buy things, and you're like, I'm not going to invest in that anymore. Nobody else really understands why you're doing this, but you're doing it. You might not be seeing any results from it, right? No one else can see this like benefit. It's this internal thing that you're doing in order to live a life that you are proud of, right? When you come out of this, right? You can like boycott it forever. It doesn't matter. I'm not saying that now's the time to end that or anything, or that for as long as you're doing it, you're spinning your wheels. What I am saying is that no one else needs to know why you're doing something that seems painful or seems like against the flow of what everyone else is doing. Do you see what I'm talking about? So, where is your relationship with being like a solo activist, right? Or, and not even like an activist, but like you are intentionally doing something really difficult and uncomfortable that no one else in your circle understands why you're doing it, but it's deeply meaningful to you. This could be taking a course at college on your off hours and you're working full time and going to college to do this other thing, or you are driving 3 hours to go to a temple once a week because you're needing like that kind of support. I'm saying something that is costing you a lot. Again, very uncomfortable, but it's for your own good and no one else understands that. Okay? Interesting, right? Am I right? Isn't this interesting? What if you're the only one that's doing it? Are you okay with that? Would you do it anyway? And if you won't, why? Okay? Because it really feels like that's coming. There's coming, a time is coming that you, through your lens, it looks like you're the only one doing something. But from the broader scale, it is that you're not alone. You just can't see the support that you have. Like that kind of dynamic is coming. And you are likely going to be like a catalyst. Like you're the first of the guys to do this thing. But you doing it shows how, like it will eventually pay off. Does that make sense? All right, now we got to look at what we're in resistance to or in denial of that is influencing our ability to actually choose to do this. Okay. Judgment reversed. I can't make this shit up. Like it's so good. Okay, so we'll wait for the camera to focus. Okay, so remember that the placement of this card, you're in resistance to or in denial of this dynamic going on. So one of the like number one things, like the thickest silver thread that ties all of us neurodivergent witches together. There's a lot of them, by the way, but a pretty big one is our relationship with community, with other people. It feels dangerous because of our trauma, right? Now, one of the most powerful things in our practice, or can be, is our relationship with community, us being able to talk about our experiences with other witches that understand that lived experience. Camaraderie helps us in our journey as much as we are in denial of it. It really does make a huge difference. And some of the times that it makes the most difference is when we are doing something that no one else understands, right? And wouldn't understand unless they have a personal relationship with your lived experience in the way that they do. And what happens when we don't have that camaraderie or support when we're making these big decisions is that self-doubt stuff starts bearing more weight in those decisions that we're making. And it actually stunts our growth when we don't have that support. Can we do it? Yes. Because we're stubborn as shit and we're going to do it anyway. But being in denial of the fact that having the support will make it like you're going to be successful either way. It's just how successful are you going to be at the end of this like internalized process? You have a decision to make. That's it. That's kind of a pokey one. Yeah. If it's any help, I understand your need for penance, your sacrifice that you're making. I see you. I can't get to you unless you come to me, though, is the problem. Support is available. You don't have to do this on your own, but you have to make the decision to ask, to engage. Otherwise, it's super culty and weird. There's reasons why we do things the way that we do, but you don't have to do this alone. And there are others that are making these difficult decisions as well. You don't get gold stars or extra credit for doing it on your own. It doesn't, that's not a thing as far as I've been told. The next foundations opens in around the summer solstice, so June. June is the next enrollment for foundations. Foundations is required for initiation into the Coven of Bright and Dark, which is an international community of neurodivergent witches. We got a lot of cool stuff going on. And we have the best clubhouse ever, like ever. But you got to do the internal work to be able to actually meet us there. Because right now, you can't even see yourself. You don't even know who you are. Dude, that's it. Ta-da! I'm going to close out this working and I will be back tomorrow morning to do the same. And we'll see kind of where we are. All right, cousin. If you can't be good at it. I'll see you tomorrow.